Oh, I did it. I didn't do nothing. All right, I'm trying to test tech today. I got all these ideas. I'm testing tech today. Technology. I got to turn on the switch to charge the laptop. I turn it off at night because I got a weird neighbor and he likes to play with the fucking electrical shit at night. And he don't know what he's doing. He just tells himself he does. So I keep all as much stuff powered down aside from turning off the main electricity switch because he's arced it. And he had his shit without power for like a month. And it was really cold. But his brother gave him stinky wood. So it all worked out. Hi, welcome to my tune. My name's Marge. I'm a Heoke empath. I just like having these little talks on how I feel about things, and to me, feelings are frequency. And a lot of times people manipulate our frequency. Because a lot of times we're feeling frequency, and then the external world puts us what our frequency means. Like, I've had a lot of traumatic experiences in my life, so surprise parties aren't real good for me. I've had a lot of PTSD. I got a lot of that stuff. So, I like to be, and I'm so hyper vigilant. I mean, I was dating a woman 10 years ago when I turned 40, and I saw her watch me try and put together a surprise party for me. And I watched her talk to my sponsor number 2, and she was leaning against the wall, and I could see the frustration. She had her leg like she's like arms folded with her leg back against the wall like this, and like kicking it in frustration. And I watched her mouth. Well, Marge shows up for a lot of people. I hope people show up for her. And I was just like, that's when I started realizing that people acted like they liked me. They didn't really like me. Life can be very, very painful when you recognize it, as I have, as learning life lessons. So I'm doing an experiment here. I'm gonna do a talk. I made notes this morning. I'm all caffeinated and shit. So I'm gonna talk and upload it and do a preview, and then I'm gonna do a live at the same time, and I'm gonna try and go off the same script, so to speak. So I just was curious as to see what would happen if I did a live and a preview at the same time. So that's what I'm gonna do. I don't know. I don't see why it wouldn't let me. I don't think that there's an algorithm that wouldn't allow it. There might be after today. I might break the internet. I envision someday I wanted to do like who would be in my loop. Alright? And I'd want to do a loop with people that I feel like I'm aligned with frequentially in some kind of capacity. Okay? So instead of a panel, having a chain. Now, based on, I'm just going to use some examples. I don't know if this would be my loop today, but it'd be a pretty cool loop. Like, regardless of how I feel about the people, I really appreciate their contribution to source. So, like, if there were, I did a live with the Leo King. And Leo King did a live at the same time with Robert Phoenix. And Robert Phoenix did a live with Susie Gemini. And Susie Gemini did a live with Switching Platforms, another influencer on, like Grandpa, on this new dude I just found on freaking Tactic this morning. This dude's cool. I freaking dig him. He came. This is the shit that comes across my algorithm, man. And he's talking about physics are stupid. This morning he was sun gazing and saw two eagles. Science busted. I think he's out of California. This dude. And then like do a live with him, and then like him do a live with a trucker, you know, and just like, and then connect to people in other countries. You know, that do him doing, and then randomly go from something small and obscure to like an over the road trucker doing a live with Joe Rogan. And Joe Rogan doing a live with that Jones guy. And then Jones doing a live with Cliff High. And just all these people. And because all their followers are going to be seen at all. Because it's one big live. I guess it would be the same as doing a Zoom, but it's different. I have nothing but time to think about shit. I just wanted to play in my whole life, and then the world just made me a workhorse, and it's not fair. And I'm here to declare it ain't fair. And it ain't fair for a lot of other people, and now the tides are turning, so... A-ho. I'll say a-ho. I won't say that amen word. That's devil speak. I ain't speaking for the devil. The devil ain't getting my tongue today. Anyway. Oh, my music stopped. Because I looked up Grandpa. Alright. I'm gonna get hot because I'm right above the heater vent. As a matter of fact, give me just a second. This is a great song. Ugh. You got it in you. Alright. I'm sitting in Mom's chair this morning. She's the real magic lady. She's for real magic, man. People feel so good just being in her presence. And everything that she says is very thoughtful and genuine. And I love when people, like my friend Claire came over yesterday. And, I love how she like greets her and says goodbye to Mom and gives her a hug. I mean, very thoughtful, you know. I got to show my friend Claire my lighter trick yesterday. Yeah, I think we're gonna be good friends, and her fella too. I hope it works out for him. I really do. I'm really pulling for those, but I pull for any two people that just want to help each other be better people. I'm all for that. You know what? So, I made some notes, and I want to go ahead and get on with this. I got nothing but time. But, I look at life in pictures a lot, and I like to share the pictures of how I see things. And I'd been a driver, because driver to me is freedom, and I got my license on my 16th birthday in Atascadero, California, in my dad's Ford luxury leather seats pimp mobile, you know, in Paso Robles, California. And I got dinged because I didn't stop before the sidewalk pulling out of the DMV. And I've forever not done it ever since I learned. And I've done a lot of things where I've driven a lot. I wonder how many miles I've traveled in my life if I were to put them all together. I bet I could actually put the miles that I've physically moved my soul sack. It could probably get to the moon, because that's what science grandpa said you got to do to get there, because it's all I did that guy. Anyway, so I was thinking about it this morning, and life is just like, that song, the life is like a highway. I see it in a different way. When I was a young girl, I spent a lot of time on Greyhound buses. On Christmas, at Easter, and in the summer, because I'd have to go visit my father, who hated me, in Southern California. And the court agreement was that, on these designated days, and Mom couldn't afford, we didn't have cars that could travel that far. We always just got by. We were so poor because Mom was trying to pay for bus tickets to, satisfy a judge that I've never seen, and just because my grandma knew him and wanted to make things hard for her. So I recognize the deck's been stacked for a long time, so I pay attention to things as I was spending 11 hours on a Greyhound bus on every Christmas from the time I was 6 years old, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, every Christmas. And usually the exchange was always very tense, and there were the occasions that there were sheriffs involved. So Christmas means much less to me than it does for everyone else, but everyone just feels better when I go along with their bullshit. Now I'm not going on with their bullshit no more. Santa's a lie. Worshipping Big Red is all freaking that, false idol bullshit, and that ain't what I'm about. So things I do, and what occurred to me in all the years that I've been driving and stuff like that, I'm not used to having hair. Again, it's coming back, and it's a lot. Anyway. So, exits in life, take them or pass them. And, there's all these experiences that we can have in life, right? There's all, you got that little voice, and all these experiences we have in life, I think, are ultimately to fine tune us, whether we listen to that. And I guess people don't have that little voice. Can we have a study done, please, of the people that don't have that little voice? And, how many of them are psycho and sociopaths? That don't have experienced feelings? Because there's a lot of people that don't experience feelings and emotions either. That's just weird to me. And a lot of those people like to freaking toy with other people and watch them suffer. They get off on it. It's weird. It's gross. So, some of the exits that I have taken in life, hey baby girl, and have chosen to pass up in life, for example, alcohol drinking. I don't drink no more because of the places that it takes me and the person that it makes me. So I used to take that exit every chance I get. Heck, I lived on that exit. I'd live under that overpass if I could. It was my best friend. My best friends have always been intangible things. Meaning music, nature, not people. Land, not people. I've always found solace in other, because I've seen so many people that like to cause so much harm. It's weird to me. It ain't good to frickin' cause harm to others. It's a terrible, terrible thing. Even a little bit. And for that to escalate, oh my lord. To even get worse, And people do the worst things to people because of their beliefs and traditions. Traditions? Peer pressure by dead people? No, thank you. I'm going to think for myself. And I'll just take all the knowings and educations of and learning from where my ancestors. Hey, I don't want to do that. Hey, where every time one of my ancestors kept their mouth closed, I don't want to do that. Look where it got them. Look where it got them all. You know, and people like that adrenaline. They like that a frequency of excitement because they probably lived in an environment where, you know, they're like a real comfortable environment where like all their needs were met, and like their parents made sure it was extra quiet so they could sleep and they wouldn't vacuum or anything like that. And then so the stimulation is intriguing to them, so people become drawn and fascinated with things that intrigue them, and the things, and then they get weird with the things that make their adrenaline spike, right? And then sometimes people get addicted to that exhilarated feeling and then go seeking it. I'm not an adrenaline junkie. I am not. I have had so many. I wonder what my cortisol levels and shit like that are. I mean, I meditate, I breathe proper, I, exercise, I try not to eat too much crap. I think I do okay. If I make it to 50, a lot of people don't. So, I was thinking about, other things on my notes here. Sometimes I get afraid of losing. Maybe people can identify with this a little bit. Sometimes I get afraid of losing the things that I love so much I forget to love them while they're here. That's why it's so important for brains like me, nacho neurotypicals, to just stay where I am and think about the things that I'm doing at the time and not to get too caught up in anything that hasn't happened yet, and definitely not get too caught up in the things that already happened. I just like to reference the past. I use the past for reference. I don't live there. I don't stay there. I'm not stuck there. I use it for reference. I wonder if other people do that. So emotional. People without feelings hate us. People with all the feelings. I can't read my own writing. So emotional. People without feelings hate us that have them. They want to put us. They want to lock us away. Have you ever seen somebody like get really upset? I mean, I don't get like frantic, but there's people that I've seen that how do I explain it? I don't know if I'm supposed to. I think I'm going to switch gears because it's not fresh like it was when I wrote it down. So I think I'll switch gears because I don't want to get this too long either. Anger goes someplace else. When I get frustrated, and usually my frustration always is 9 times out of 10, 8 times out of 10 related, attached to the fact that I am powerless. Like I don't have a control in the situation. Like this is just life happening. I'm getting swept in the flow, and I don't like it. Getting water up my nose. And sometimes that's how life comes at you. That's how life comes at me. In waves. I learned a lot about living life just body surfing in the oceans. Avila Beach, Pismo Beach, Morro Bay. Currents, flow. Humans are so much more powerless than they think they are. And I think their naivety sneaks up on them. I know it has in my life. My naivety has got me kicked in the face and knocked down a flight of stairs. 13 of them. 12, 13. Whole flight. It's amazing I'm still here. So, well, if you don't acknowledge things. If people don't like, hey man, I'm pissed because of this, just do that and let it out. But people don't do that. They keep it to themselves, and all that freaking turns your cells dark, and that's how people get cancer. It's all right, just because other people don't want to hear about it doesn't matter. How often have you had to listen to people in your life? Whatever. Hearing don't take no effort. God's supposed to. Sometimes people will just pray for people to listen to them. And you could be that answered prayer. We could all be somebody's answered prayer. But what do people do with all of their blessings and their answered prayers? They stifle, they hinder, they keep it to themselves. And now people got to pay dues. You always got to pay dues. You always got to pay something. There's always this for that. So it's important, I try to use positive outlets. I try to use, I got but my body's changing and things are hurting, and there's, I don't get to move like I always did. People don't do that, or they try to make themselves feel better by overspending or overeating or over drinking or over sexing or just doing something too much. It don't matter what it is. Drinking too many energy drinks. They're just trying to flood themselves out. Then you got to clean up the mess of the consequences of when that happens. It freaking breaks my heart to see when people freaking go, oh my God, I'm the captain of my own ship. I'm freaking responsible for my life. Society could make it a little bit easier on people that take care of people. Really could. Like the people that really take care of people. Like the people that really need to be taken care of. Like, dude, there's a whole population of fucking orphans on this planet, and they got parents, and I come from it too. That's why I can recognize them. People don't even got nobody to freaking listen to them because people are so caught up in their own orbits, they can't think outside of themselves. Maritime Central. Well, there's landslides. I mean, the freaking level of freaking natural disasters that are going on right now around this world is changing. Like this. Cleaning up the earth. The way I look at it, people, clinicians put terminology on people, and I'm just like, oh really? I just think of it like this, like we see in frequency, light frequency. When people pass on their energy, they take their last breath, their energy's still there. That's what ghosts are. Some people, they're so sensitive that they can see in that frequency, right? Sometimes the spirit has business that usually they got business that they still got to do. Sometimes they get stuck, the energy, you just got to help them move on sometimes, right? Ain't nothing. And if they're mean and harmful, then that's not really necessarily spirit. That's more into the demon realm, as I understand it. Then you gotta freaking omit that and cast it and be gone, because autonomy. Get out of my space. You're not welcome here. And that's just all an invader is. And they invade people, and then people invade countries, and this is the world we get. So, a seed to their detriment is being planted. This was in reference. I was thinking about like core thoughts when children. I didn't write farther than that. Now I don't remember what it is. Like, I've never potty trained. I've never been around anybody that potty trained a kid. Yet every person on the planet has been some kind of potty trained, right? And then I wonder, like, do they just put them on the toilet and they say, okay, go to the bathroom? Is that how it's done? Because I have had problems in life, and Mom has had problems in life where doctors have told us that people get it backwards with both number 1 and 2. That when people go to the bathroom naturally, they evacuate the urine, or push, until their eye. People have strokes from taking craps, from pushing so hard. Yet, people know that, like, when women have babies, I think when people in both parties are involved. I think it's a common knowledge that the rule of thumb is to relax and let go of the uterus, the muscle. Just breathe above through the pain, right? Well, if that's how the uterus is, why would the intestines or the bladder be any different? Because the bladder is just a balloon, and when people push out like that, going from state of full to, you know, what happens is that's how incontinence is made. That's how people lose their ability to hold their urine within them, is from stretching out their urinal tract, from just pushing and drinking too much and holding it and then pushing it out. I mean, they don't, you just have to kind of, it's just relax and let, but people got to control. And then all the stuff that people eat, I mean, human beings don't even know how the body works. I think they're learning, though. I think they're figuring it out. What you do to one side, you got to do the other. It's all about balance, yada, yada, yada. I've been freaking studying this stuff my whole life because it's been forced upon me. Everything I've ever learned is because it's freaking somebody else thought I should fucking know it. I don't care about none of it. Anyway, a seed to the... Okay, I can't remember what that was. So, and then I go off on potty training. Oh! I remember now. It was the story about how I have a lot of masculine energy. If you look up like astro.com, you can look up your chart and it'll say, it'll let you know like what your energies are. Okay. So I'm like, and when I'm angry and feel powerless, I can be mad dad, angry dad. I can encompass that same energy. And one of the reasons is because I'm imbalanced and I'm predominantly masculine in my energy. See? Masculine 6, feminine 4. Cardinal 3, fixed 1. Mutable 6. I am wishy the fuck washy. That makes me hey okay hey. Fire 5. Look, no earth. Air 4. Water 4. Those are my elements. My missing element is earth. It is difficult for me to ground. I have to work harder at it. I don't like that. It's just how it is. If I want to function in the world. So, this is from yesterday. The CIA, alphabet agencies, NASA, all that stuff. It's like they're... when you're a kid and you got to keep your freaking bratty... your kid's a brat. You don't want to discipline them. You want somebody else to model and mold them. You just want to take credit for their brilliant brain that they don't have. So, like, these people in significant positions, like, create these, like... They're like... I don't know, boys and girls club, stuff like that, for grown-ups. That's what CIA, FBI, NASA, all these are, right? They don't really serve a purpose. They just absorb a lot of funds, and then their, adult brat kids get to go around doing their stupid project and bullying and targeting people. Like, they're talking about, like, how police agencies, like, people have used it. Cops have used it to go after people that they didn't like and stuff like. I'm like, dude, when have they not done that? That's why I'm like, what good cops? Because so many of them do this shit. How come the good cops are fucking arresting the bad ones? Because it's the fraternal brotherhood of ball sack suckers. That's why. So I think it's funny. So all the people that get the opportunity, all the resources are absorbed while freaking people are... I mean, I'm seeing so many genius people doing shit. Like this one guy, he created this invention where he put... he mounted... What was it? He mounted like he took 2 batteries, put them together, like, and then made a mount, an engine mount that spins over so he can spin the engine over instead of like laying. It's so like so many people are. That's all I want to do in life is have my little plot for me, mom, and the critters, a garden, and a garage for me to do my inventing shit, because there have been so many situations in my life I'd be like, dude, okay, that works, but if you had a product that did this, it'd be better. And I just want to make the products and then present them to people. And if people want to take it and run with it, that's rad. I want to help people with their own ideas. And that's how the world's going to change. Making new earth by cleaning up the old one. You know? Like every day, like, you know, if there's litter on the ground and it's there for a couple days, that's the old earth. This is a timeline, you know, pick that up and then live in the timeline of the new earth where it's clean. Every time you see garbage, there's a guy picks up garbage on the highway. You know, I got an idea to get people like him and other people in the community to get paid for doing their time, giving their time up, because the bureaucrats, they fucking piss away $5 million on fucking cosmetic fucking bullshit in the town square for the Tourons, and they don't care about the locals, and they are one, and they forget that. So I'm just here to remind them, that's all. Charging atoms by invoking fear, we change the atmosphere. We do. That's like because people, you know, people know what people's energy, I mean, the powers that the controllers that be, the people that used magic against us, our own magic against us, our own abilities, you know, like I believe that we charge the atmosphere. Like when people are fearful, like when a story goes out, you know, or they put out an emergency warning that a bomb's coming, oh, it was just or, you know, whatever they can do to invoke fear, that invokes fear into that latitude. And if they do it in enough cities on the same data, that creates electricity, that fear in people. And then they do the same thing with concerts, bullshit, freaking sports events. Fear, excitement is the same frequency. They harness that energy. We create all the energy, and then they take all of our money to power and electricity energy that we create. That ain't fair, is it? I don't think so either. More and more people are coming to these realizations, and I got certifications of the yin yang. I've been in IT. I got. And people like to say, oh, that Marge, she's so crazy. I think crazy people hurt people. I don't hurt people. I help people. I don't hinder. I speak out against the hinderers. Be sure of that. Trust and believe. Or don't. I don't care. Whatever. A whimsical dame and a dutiful broad. Intangibles are my friends. And I talked about that, and I'm about the 30-minute mark, so now I'm going to get this uploaded and then do a live at the same time. That's all I got for now. Thanks for hanging out. I hope you have a rad day. Peace.